Well, after the protests, first in Tunisia, then in Egypt, toppled long-standing repressive regimes, political unrest began to spread across other Arab countries in the Middle East. Libya is the latest, where people are rising up, demanding freedom and reform. But like those dictators unwilling to give up power before them, Colonel Moammar Gaddafi is going to extreme and violent measures against his own people to ensure that his 42-year reign is not disrupted, going so far as to bomb protesters from the air in his own cities, while police have been shooting people with live rounds point blank. As A News reporter Aaron Glazier shows us now, Vancouver Island's small but proud Libyan community is pleading for the international community to intervene and stop the bloodshed.
He's been killing us for 40 years. You just haven't been hearing about it.
Canadian citizen Hadi al-Barai is describing the 41-year reign of Libyan President Moammar Gaddafi. He's been following the deadly protests in the streets of Tripoli, his place of birth, as demonstrators call for the dictator to leave. But the cost of doing so is proving to be deadly.
There is a massacre right now going on as we speak. People are being slaughtered.
There are reports that hundreds have been killed by military soldiers and police. With no international journalists allowed into the country, information coming out has been scarce. Hadi has not been able to contact his family since this morning and has to rely on the internet and radio feeds for word from home.
One phone call was okay, but the second phone call when I called, my sister wasn't home. I don't know why. And then they wouldn't tell me, maybe because they were scared to talk on the phone or something.
You can hear even on the internet the screams and the cries and the snipers and the gunfire and everything, and it's horrific.
But by all accounts, elements of the armed forces are turning. Reports out of Malta tonight that Libyan fighter jets landed and the pilots are asking for asylum, unwilling to bomb peaceful anti-regime protesters. Even diplomats are abandoning their posts.
I find it is impossible to stay silent, and we have to transfer the voice of the Libyan people to the world.
While those in Canada say they're desperate for our government to step up.
Everybody's watching us dying. Nobody's saying or doing anything.
Somebody has to go now. We can't wait. It's been 4 or 5 days. The people are dying. There's not going to be any left by the time they get there.
The message from Canada is clear. We are watching, and these types of heavy-handed tactics by the Libyan government will not be tolerated.
We find the actions of the government firing upon its own citizens to be outrageous and unacceptable, and we call on the government to cease this kind of violence immediately.
On the heels of successful revolts in Tunisia and Egypt, there are unconfirmed reports that these protests in Libya have forced Colonel Gaddafi to flee the capital and possibly the country. Al-Barai says he'll believe it when he sees it. In Victoria, Aaron Glazier, A News.